We're just inside 5 minutes from liftoff. Falcon 9 is now moving into the final stages of the countdown. First and second stages are both nearly fully loaded with over 1 million pounds of kerosene fuel and liquid oxygen. Stage 1 actually finished loading just a moment ago.
How many pounds?
And we've also begun chilling of the 9 Merlin engines. We're also getting ready now for the completion of liquid oxygen loading on both stage 1. That'll happen at about T-minus 3 minutes. Second stage will close out at about T-minus 2 minutes. The view on the screen.
There's
is
1 million
9,
tons in this.
The strong back part of the transporter erector still around the vehicle.
We're
getting ready to open up the clamp arms that attach to the second stage. Once the arms are open, coming up and right now, you can see them. We will then begin retracting the strong back. That'll be coming up in about 10 seconds. The strong back will recline about 2 degrees away from the Falcon 9.
Jesus. Chat, is this extended because this could be a big success, a big failure. It could crash, it could explode,
now we're using
or it could lift off.
Struts to pull it back, and at liftoff, those hydraulic struts will pull it farther away as the rocket lifts off to clear the strong back. Another event coming up at T-minus 60 seconds is the call out that Falcon 9 is in startup.
It's not smoking.
This means that the rocket's autonomous internal flight computers have taken over the launch countdown. There are 3 flight computers on the second stage that constantly compare commands and calculations with each other. That way, if any one computer develops a fault, the other 2 can safely continue the flight. So Falcon 9's looking good. The Amos 17 payload, the Spacecom team, everything continues to be good for them.
I put 5.
The range is tracking no issues. Everything is clear for launch.
I don't know how
complicated
the computers
to
are.
cooperate, but we've still got a few minutes to go.
AMD power
so as
PC.
we pass just inside T-minus 3 minutes, let's listen in to the countdown nets for the terminal count of Falcon 9 with Amos 17.
Guys, this isn't smoke, dude. Is that they're putting liquid nitrogen, I think, or something like that, and they're pre-cooling the outer shell. So when it goes fast in the atmosphere,
we'll execute a range hold.
The heat doesn't burn the thing. They're like pre-freezing it.
No, it got stuck.
Yeah, I had a SpaceX store with Elon Musk this morning, so I was late.
Can I please have 2?
That's why I know.
Wives, someone give me 2. Wives.
You wouldn't let me stream it, but
okay. Vive on if we get 2. Wives. Love you, PVC.
One minute before a historic moment, boys. How is this boring? This is something you'll never see ever again. This is history unfolding in front of you. You'll be able to say, I was there, I was here. Your name was in the VOD, literally. Your name on the internet, when you're on the internet, your name is not written in lead. Your name is written in ink. It's here forever.
This is RCN Countdown. Be advised, we're continuing with the count. The ranges go at this time.
One minute.
F9 is on startup. Stage 2, pressing for flight.
I wonder how stressed out they are.
LD is go for launch.
There's obviously one person
T+1 minute
can only work on a certain part of it, right? Like nobody can work and make the whole thing. So it's like
seconds it will explode.
T-minus 30 seconds.
And also, it's not his whole project. Okay, whatever.
Stage 1, pressing for flight.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10.
Here it comes.
9, 8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
0. Ignition. Liftoff.
That looks sick! Holy fuck!
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
We have liftoff, boys. They're tilting so early. It's already tilting. Great shape so far, boys. 800 kilometers per hour.
AVI power and telemetry nominal.
The camera software is really good.
Vehicle is supersonic.
Coming up on 1 minute in the
Supersonic.
flight, we're getting ready for maximum dynamic pressure.
Vehicle has reached maximum aerodynamic pressure.
Maximum aerodynamic pressure, POG.
You've heard the call out. We're through the region of maximum aerodynamic pressure. Vehicle going supersonic as we leave the denser parts of the lower Earth's atmosphere. Falcon 9 trajectory
Already.
looks good. All 9 Merlin engines are at power. Everything looking good for Falcon 9. We're heading due east from Cape Canaveral, headed to the first of 2 orbits planned for today. Nice view from the onboard camera looking back at the plume slowly expanding as we leave the atmosphere. The plume will get larger as we get out to the vacuum of space. Now today, first stage
3,000.
shutdown is planned for about T plus 2 minutes, 45 seconds. We won't be recovering the first stage today, so
Why
that
not?
leaves more propellant to burn to achieve the required orbit for the satellite. If you compare that to last week's CRS-18 resupply flight to the space station, on that mission, the first stage shut down almost half a minute sooner than today. We needed to reserve enough propellant to be able to turn the first stage and return it all the way back to the launch site. Now coming up quickly in 20 seconds, a
I
sequence of
understand
events.
this.
Main engine cutoff, the 9 main engines shut down, stage separation, and then ignition of the second stage engine coming up in just under 15 seconds.
Yes, okay, yes, I'm equipped now, boys. I understand these terms. Because once they're in orbit, they have to do maneuvers to come back to Earth if they decide to do so.
AVI stage separation confirmed.
Bug! Oh, something detached. What?
We've had successful ignition of the second stage engine. The Merlin Vacuum D engine is up at power. Turbine speed
Stage 1
looks
STS
good.
is saved.
You can see the nozzle beginning to glow red, a tradition
Stage
for
2
the
on
upper
nominal
stage.
trajectory.
First stage has completed its mission. It's falling back to Earth. As we said, we won't recover it. Coming up next, fairing separation out in the vacuum of space.
They won't recover it. 10,000 kilometers per hour.
AVI fairing separation confirmed.
The position of signal Bermuda.
Nice view in the late afternoon. Sun shining on the payload fairing. The second stage has separated the payload fairing around the Amos 17 spacecraft as we're now in the vacuum of space. Right now, Merlin vacuum engine continues to be on power. Trajectory looks good. Stage 2 is right in the middle of the predicted path. Avionics reports their systems are nominal. So coming up 4 minutes and 15 seconds mark, we are go on Falcon 9 carrying Amos 17 to the parking orbit, the first of 2 orbits for today.
I was gonna do 2 orbits today? That's crazy. See, in the game, dude, this is one of the most efficient fucking, thrust or whatever at the back. Burns a lot of fuel. Right? So isn't the point there to they put a lot of fuel? So less fuel for recovery, because they're not recovering it. So more fuel for
So just past the T
this
plus
thruster
5-minute mark
to go as
into
fast as
today's
possible.
mission for Amos 17.
So it
In
goes
case if
fast in
you
orbit,
just joined
right?
us, we had a slight delay due to weather over at Florida launch site, but we did take off at 23 minutes after the hour. And as you can see on your screen, the stages have separated, and there we have a beautiful shot of planet Earth as the second stage nozzle is glowing gorgeous red, orange, as it's carrying Amos 17 to geostationary transfer orbit.
Stage 2 on nominal trajectory.
We have confirmation that the trajectory for stage 2 is nominal.
Is what? Is a nominal? Nominal.
Just after the second stage ignited, you may have noticed a couple of pieces coming off from the nozzle.
Yeah.
If you've tuned into our launches before, you see that every time. Those are that's basically just a stiffening ring that we place at the end of the nozzle to give it a little bit of structural integrity for transportation purposes while the rocket is still on the ground. Not really necessary once the rocket has taken off and they fall away.
I didn't even know that. It's smart to think that's actually 5 head.
The next major event that we are approaching at about the 8-minute and 9-second mark will be the first of 2 second engine cutoffs, or SECO 1.
And then it's gonna leave it behind, right? $19,000 kilometers per hour.
At this point in the mission, the second stage is pulling about 3.5 Gs. You yourself may have experienced that. If you've ever been on a big roller coaster, equivalent to that, the space shuttle encountered about 3.5 Gs whenever it was taking off and re-entering.
3 Gs. Does that make you dizzy? 3 Gs?
Terminal guidance.
So we're less than 30 seconds away from second engine cutoff 1.
Chat, me and you are somewhere in here, boys. No kidding. We're like under.
Like I said before, this is Amos 17, which will
We're
provide internet, phone, and secure communications to customers in the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. We're sending it to
Stage 2 STS is
geostationary
safe.
transfer orbit.
This chat, dude. So where does the thing land anyway? What if there's like wind and shit? And when they separate, the shell lands in somebody's garden.
And we have confirmation that second engine cutoff has occurred and that we are in good orbit. So we're about to enter an 18-minute coast phase, so we're going to take a break, but we'll leave you with an animation that shows where we are in the coast phase. We'll be back at the T plus 26-minute mark for a second stage
Nominal
relay.
orbit insertion.
Just pause, chat. Pog. That was sick. Well, you think the shell burns upon re-entry? Before laying it on the ground, it actually burns up? I don't think so. That's crazy. It doesn't. It lands in the ocean, I'm sure. They have a tracker on it. There's no way that at stage 1, which is over here, that the shell flies back, wham, and lands on somebody's garden. At 5,000 kilometers per hour, it's not gonna go backwards.